We've got less than 1 week to get this old patrol ready for some of the toughest forward driving both it and myself and Dan have ever done.
Now this car's far from finished. We've got a bunch of accessories that have to go on this thing before it's going to be ready for the tracks.
Yeah, well, time's ticking, Dan, so let's get cracking.
Let's get into it.
5 teams, 5 unique builds. We've gathered a bunch of our great mates to take on Tasmania's toughest terrain, testing their skills, their rigs, and their resilience, all in support of men's health this Movember. This is King Chrome Build Wars.
So one of the first accessories we want to get on the car today is a good set of gauges. So we've got a set of these GearX gauges from the guys at Just Race Parts. Now, Liam and I had a chat about what we think is important to monitor on this car. One of them is obviously going to be water temp and water level. I think any four-wheel drive, this is a good thing to monitor, whether it's petrol, diesel, whatever. You're obviously pushing the car harder than factory, and it's going to be an absolute lifesaver to save cooking your engine. The other thing is an auto temp gauge. Now, I run one of these on my GQ. I think it's really important. Again, you're running a bigger tyre, a heavier car, and again, you're pushing it harder than it would be designed for from factory. It's a great idea just to keep an eye on your auto temp. That way, like an EGT, you know when you should be backing it off or when you can push it a bit harder. Now, one of the really cool things about this 3-in-1 gauge is it's not only water temp and water level, it also monitors oil pressure. So that's also super important, obviously, to your engine's health. So for the water temp and water level indicator, that's super easy. We've got a hose adapter, so I can just cut the hose, put that straight in line, don't even have to think about it. The auto temp's gonna be a little bit more tricky, but still not that hard. I am going to drill and tap into the back of one of the banjo fittings on the auto, and I'm gonna put this auto temp probe on the hot side of the auto transmission.
So while Dan's installing the gauges, I'm going to get onto some of the accessories we need to put on this car. Now, one of those accessories is lights. We're going to need some good spotlights. I imagine we're going to be in the dark at some point, as well as some camp and work lights. So this is all stuff actually that, you know, these spotties came with the car, which is awesome. And these are little work lights that I literally had sitting in a tub at home. So these will work perfect for what we need to do. So I'm going to go around and start placing these all over the car. Oh, I reckon that will work.
It has to look just out there enough that people that aren't familiar with the fact that we're doing like a budget challenge look at the car and go like, what the hell are they doing? Like, what is this?
I always wanted a car with roof spotlights. never had the right car to do it on.
Liam's just everything you have always wanted is happening in this car. Like, you know, actual power.
4.8.
4.8. Limiter. Roof spotties. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to scuffing past some trees and not worrying about the paint. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like, oh, it's making that horrible screechy sound. Oh well.
I do that already, so that's all right.
Yeah. I think the thing is that's important to note is that there's no plans to do night runs on this trip.
Oh, is it there?
Well, I don't think so.
Nah, I just feel like it's going to happen inevitably.
After Macca blows both his diffs,
yeah,
because he's Macca, we'll be in the dark.
Macca blows both his diffs. Richard will have 60 series problems and BMW problems. Paulie's LS will get hot.
Yep.
And our TV48 will just... Oh, actually, you know what?
Tank and Jacko will blow a CV.
I was actually going to say the Prado will probably show us a lot.
I'm keen to see it. The little bits I've seen of it, it looks good. It looks aggressive.
I actually said it's probably one of the most like aggressive Prados.
They're not holding back.
So while I finished mounting up all of our work lights, Dan finished up the wiring on the gauges, fitting up all the sensors and running the wires into the cab.
So we've actually got a pillar pod that Az gave us with the car. There was a bunch of parts that just were either off the car or he never got around to installing, which was super handy for us. So yeah, got a 2-gauge pillar pod that's going to slot right in here on the driver's side, give us somewhere nice to mount the 2 gauges up to. Now it is very handy that these are colour coded, so I should be able to just plug them into the corresponding coloured plugs in the back of the gauges and we should be sweet. Like that, sweet. So I'm just going to tidy up this wiring, put the whole pillar pod in place, and then I'll hook up the power under the dash and we should be good to see how these things go. It's going to be good. When Liam holds it on the limiter for 10 consecutive minutes, we'll be able to watch the oil pressure drop. Wow.
Look at that.
Geez, they're such a crisp display, aren't they?
Yeah,
for a gauge, like it's bloody like TV quality on a gauge. All right, so we've got the gauges all installed in the car now. I've got everything wired up and set up. They're working really well. Now, I've gone through and set up all the alerts in these, so they will be able to give us warnings if anything is getting to the point of giving us dramas. That's currently changing color as it's in a warm-up mode, so until it hits engine temperature, it'll keep doing that. Once it stays fully green, we'll know it's up to temp. That's just so Liam doesn't put it on the limiter till the engine's up to temperature. But yeah, we've got our auto trans temp, so that's down the bottom here. And then on the top gauge, which is the 3-in-1, we've got the coolant temp, also the low coolant alert, and the oil pressure. So oil pressure sitting around 75 PSI right now. So everything's happy there, but yeah, it's going to be great to be able to see what condition everything's actually in while we're giving this car a hard time.
So one of the other mods we're going to be putting on is actually an awning, because where we're going is maybe kind of known to be a little bit wet. So I think this will be handy when we're camping. And this was Dan's old awning, so it was literally just sitting in the shed, but still in perfect condition. It's a nice sort of, you know, slim and light one, good for the 4-wheel drive. So I'll get some brackets and we'll get this mounted up on the side too. So I've been messing around on the roof and putting a bunch of lights up there, and they're all mounted in place. Now Dan can do the fun stuff and wire them all up. While I'm on the roof, I'm actually going to put on some Max Tracks. Now these are just the pairs that we have at home, but I figured it's probably a good idea to throw these in, because I think we're going to be navigating a variety of different terrains. So we'll strap these on the roof for easy access, and I'm sure they'll come in handy. Yeah, they're not going to go anywhere in a hurry.
So we've finished wiring up the roof lights. Now we've got the 2 big spotties on the top, they're pretty hard to miss, and also the little work lights on the side and the back. So got them all wired up, Liam's going to test them out.
Yeah, let's see if I can figure out the switch panel, but
yeah.
I'm keen.
See
So
if I've hooked them up right. Oh, Jesus.
Fire out.
Who turned on the sun? Yeah,
Mate,
right. Those are
that's
punchy.
sick. That's like
Hit 'em. Yeah, wow.
blinder.
Yeah.
Mate, we've got plenty of light.
Yeah. All right, spotty's down. Try the work lights, Liam.
Work lights, where are we? What's it called? Just auxiliary?
I don't remember. One of them, auxiliary lights, I think. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
that's
there we
us.
go.
Straight on the money. Hey?
Fire. Oh, well, that's going
How
to be
good's
perfect.
that? Yeah. That'll be handy as.
I think the thing to remember here as well is that, like, yes, we're building, you're going to see some cars that are pretty, like, off-road built, but we're camping out of these things as well a little bit. So, you know, we're trying to make it practical for camping, and even, like, just trackside stuff, you know, like, if you got to pull up.
Because, like, we don't plan on doing any night wheeling, but
yeah, I'm tipping it's probably going to happen.
I feel like at some point we're going to end up on a track while the sun's going down.
Yeah,
so,
I'd say so. So these are going to be real handy.
Yep.
Now, one thing that actually came in the car is we got another drawer. So I'm thinking about putting this in the back, and then we might be able to use this for some of our camp gear. So one thing we're going to need on the trip is a fridge to keep the beers cold and the food. So yeah, this is one that we had in the shed, and it works, and it'll make a perfect fridge for us on our trip. Now, I hope it fits is the other question. So we'll see. Oh, it just fits. I'll have to get some fridge straps for that too. But perfect. We got the whole setup. We literally got all the drawers, the fridge, everything, the storage. You could take this car around Australia if you wanted to. I reckon.
It's so good having like the whole touring setup already in.
Yeah, it's just already all
Very
sorted.
Convenient.
Very
Look at that. That looks proper now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When it's got a fridge in there,
And a table.
it means we're serious. Obviously, we're gonna have to do some cooking at some point or another. And I've got all the stuff I need now. I've got a drawer for cooking stuff or whatever. Got a fridge, got a nice good table to work on. Yeah, we're literally happy days.
So now we're going to look at putting a few 12-volt accessories in the back of the car here. Now, I've already got the battery down the bottom, so everything should be super easy to wire up. Now, we're not going a crazy touring setup in this thing. We're just putting in enough to make everything easy to use and be able to charge cameras, torches, and all that sort of stuff while we're on our trip. So we're going to be looking at putting just a little inverter in here. As I said, easy to hook up, battery's right below it. And also I've got a wireless magnetic charger, charge the King Chrome torches and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to mount one of the King Chrome 18-volt fast chargers here, and also a Katana one for the chainsaw. So we'll be able to charge 18-volt batteries for the chainsaw, 18-volt batteries for grinders, drills, all that sort of stuff. We're going to be chucking a fair bit of 18-volt stuff in the car. I know we're going to need it at some point. Something's going to break, whether it's on our car or someone else's. This is going to be a trip. I feel like we're going to be needing an angle grinder at some point. So yeah, we'll get all that stuff mounted so it's easy to get at. So that's all the battery storage and charging sorted for the back of the car. I'm stoked with how everything's come up. It's super neat. It's going to be super practical and easy to use. Now, the next step is going to be to remove the rear seats. We're not going to need them. It's only Liam and I going on this trip. Well, there's immediately a lot more room in here. Also, I will show you guys in a sec once I've got both the seats out. This thing, admittedly we got a good deal on the car, mechanically it's sweet, but when you pull the back seats out and look at the carpets, there's signs of its former life. There's a little bit of, I dare say, Murrumbidgee or Tulangi hanging around in the floor here. But I'm sure it's going to cop worse, so it's hardly the biggest of problems we could have had. Now, in the place of the rear seats, we're going to be chucking in this shelf. Now, this came with the car. Obviously, it wasn't in at the time. It did have the seats bolted in. Probably use this flat spot for clothes, stuff like that, just in case the floor gets wet. We can keep all that stuff up nice and high and dry. So it only bolts into the front seat mounts, which I've already done, and then it just screws into the rear drawer here. So we'll chuck some screws in this thing and it'll be good to go. I've also replaced the bearings on the second swing away on the rear bar. The old ones were rusted out, and with some fresh ones we'll be able to add the jerry can holder so we can carry either water or extra fuel. I also finished up some other small jobs like wiring up the bull bar indicators, a wireless winch remote and a set of diff breathers. And last but not least, I wanted to spruce up our front diff a bit as a surprise for the boys, so I've got to work with some rattle cans and some masking tape.
Well, as we get down to the pointy end of the build, one of the last things we sort of need, and again, definitely need, is spare parts. I'm doing a bit of a run around, and of course, one of the places on my stop list is, of course, Patroller Part. So I got a couple things to pick up, so let's go get them. Got all of that, all that important spares. Now, one very important aspect of this build was actually figuring out what spares we need to bring for this car because we are going to be pushing it pretty hard, and I dare say something will fail at some point or another. So we've got quite an array of bits here. This is a mixture of stuff we got off, Marketplace from both Dan's and my collection of spare parts, as well as some places like Patroller Part. So yeah, we've got a bit going on here.
Yeah, I mean, we've raided the back of my shed and the back of my car. So for a start, we've got my freewheeling hub. That's one I carry in the back of my Patrol. So yeah, drag that out just in case we blow a hub or it fills with water or anything on the trip. Liam picked up a couple of spare drive shafts or CVs off Marketplace. Again, they're not. I'd say the GU ones are stronger, but they are still.
You can still break.
Probably. It's you're most likely to break a hub or a CV if you bounce some wheels and that.
Yeah.
We've got a drive shaft. Now, this is a spare I had in the back of the shed. Don't carry it in my car. Probably not likely to bend one of these, but as Liam just said, if there's ever a chance we're going to bend one, it's going to be on this trip. So yeah, that'll fit in this. Also, my spare starter motor. Now, if you have a manual like yourself, you probably wouldn't bother because you can just tow start it or roll start the car, but in an auto, you don't really have an option. If you're down a starter motor, your trip's done. So yeah, spare starter, that is out of my car, and the boys at Patroller Part have let us know that apparently they're interchangeable.
Yeah,
so,
they should fit.
Yeah, so that's an old one I've got for that. Also, again, out of the back of my car is a GU style hub nut socket from Patroller Part. So they're a bit of a tricky hub nut, so you want to be carrying one of them just in case.
Yeah, we've also got a few other bits and pieces as well. Wheel bearing kit's a no-brainer. We've got drive shaft unis. I've got wheel starts. I've got a big bag of miscellaneous patrol bolts and hose clamps and things. I actually also picked up from Patrol Part. This was just a second handy, an alternator. Obviously, especially being a car that's EFI, we definitely want to make sure we've also always got battery and what we'll be doing. Alternators may be at risk. So got a spare one of them. Also got other things like a fuel pump. If you get a bad batch of fuel, or if you submerge the car for too long for whatever reason and water goes somewhere it shouldn't, fuel pump and a filter to go with it. And then a few other miscellaneous things. We've got hoses and stuff like that, JB weld, tank putty, that sort of thing. But I think that should sort of keep us out of trouble.
Yeah. And then in the back of the car, I'm starting to get ready. We're just going to run a few different spare fluids. So we've got a bunch of greases for the CVs and for wheel bearings just in case. But fluids, for oils, we're going to be taking ATF 5W40, which is the engine oil that we're running in this, and 80W90, which is, I believe, what was in the front diff and gearbox. Transfer. Yeah. But we can run it in the rear diff if need be. Yeah. Now, what I've done is I've got little oil bottles that we used in the car when we serviced it. And because they're the perfect size, they're actually going to fit in that pocket down the side there. So
perfect.
I've just relabeled them so we can carry about 2.5 litres of all the fluids we need, just for top-ups, just in case.
That's it. So one thing you might have noticed is that we haven't mounted a UHF in the Patrol. We do have a UHF antenna, but it doesn't work because we're just using it as a bonnet strut. So what we're going to do is actually use handhelds. Now, this is a set that Paddy and I have already been using for a bit, but they're really handy. It's a twin pack of 5-watt UHFs from GME, and these things are just going to be handy because we can use them in the cab, but also out on the track, and being 5-watt, they're the same power as like an in-cab mounted one anyway. It's also got, 12-volt charger and a set of mics and that sort of thing. So yeah, will be awesome for what me and Dan need to do, and yeah, nice and easy. Now, the next thing we've got to do is actually probably one of the biggest things we're going to do to this car. We've been holding off doing it, but this is what we've got to address next, these tyres. Now, it does already have a set of Yokohama Geolanders, which is like what me and Paddy and Dan all run on our cars. They're a good tyre, but these ones are a little bit on the small side for what we want, and they've also already seen quite a bit of stuff. They're pretty worn down and getting to the end of their life. So we've got to sort something out, and Dan has done exactly that. What have we got, Dan?
Well, I jumped on Marketplace the day we bought the car actually and found this set of Simex Centipedes. Now these are a super aggressive mud terrain, as you can probably see. I'd say they're more a tractor tyre than a car tyre.
Pretty much.
They are a bias ply. They got about a 40mm deep lug on the edge. They're going to be terrible on road.
Yeah.
I guess that's the main difference between the Geolanders that we run on our 4Bs and what we're going to be doing with this car. We are sacrificing on-road comfort and drivability for just pure off-road traction.
Exactly right.
Now we're going to run these things down to Nath. They are already a good tyre. They're already on some rims, but he's going to make them even better. So we brought the tyres down to Treadworks because we're going to get them fitted up on some bead locks. Now, we're not going to go the conventional bead lock, we're going to go with something a little bit different for this build. So let's get into it and we'll have a look at what we're going to do. So these are the bead locks we're going to be using. These are a second air bead lock or an internal bead lock. Now, you're probably thinking they're not your conventional bead lock. You may have been imagining an alloy rim with a bunch of bolts in it. These are a little bit different in that they go inside the rim, so they're not visible from the outside. They'll also hold the bead on both the inner and the outer beads of the rim, which with a conventional bead lock, you're only bolting the outer bead of the rim. So you can still blow off an inner. It's not as common, but it is possible. The other thing is with these, theoretically, you can run the tyre down to 0 PSI and the tyre will sit on this inner tube, essentially. So you're not at a chance of pinching a tyre and cutting a tyre in the sidewall like you are with a conventional bead lock. Now these are a bit more tricky than fitting a standard tyre to a standard rim. They do require a little bit more work. So we've come down to Treadworks and Nate's going to sort them out for us.
Second air internal bead locks. This is, well, pretty much the pain in the bum job of putting them in. So the idea is obviously this goes into the tyre, the tube goes into this, and this controls where the tube goes, so essentially it just pushes out. The upside to these is that it basically bead locks the inside and the outside, so you're getting both sides done. So essentially you've got a special metal valve that's got a bit of a slit in the back of it that sits sort of in between there that allows, once the tube is filled up and pressed against it, still allows air in and out to fill up the rest of the cavity. And then obviously we just make another valve hole for the actual tube, and then that's sealed with an O-ring either side. The only disadvantage is you sort of build in a fail point, an extra one, in the sense that if this O-ring sort of backs off or fails, the rest of the air in the tyre will leak out and then go flat. I mean, these bias ply stuff, realistically, anyone that's had these on standard wheels that aren't bead locked or have internals, they'll know that once you try and air down, they blow off the bead really easily. Internal bead lock done, happy days. But no, you shouldn't have any dramas with them now. That should be hopefully very good.
Beautiful, too good. Well, thanks for that, Nath. We'll take it back to the shed, chuck them on the car and
go destroy them.
see how this thing looks on it.
See how quickly you can stuff them? Yeah, very good.
Thank you. So some of you may not know that when I first started out my apprenticeship as a diesel mechanic, in my first week I bought this very King Chrome toolbox. Now things have come a long way since, as you can probably see, but I still understand that starting off in the trade, it's a big investment to make. Luckily, the guys at King Chrome know this and they're here to help with their Tools for Life program. So right now, if you're an apprentice, you can get one of 17 toolkits at a discounted price. And if you sign up online, you can also get free tools via redemption. So if you've just started out as an apprentice or you're looking to upgrade your existing tools, definitely make sure to take advantage of this offer.
I cannot wait to see these things in action.
Yeah, me neither. I love them. I said to Nath last night, my favourite part is that it's basically like the middle section is a mud terrain and this is just like a tractor.
Yeah, they're literally a tractor tyre. I just feel like once they're deflated and they bag out, like just think about that, just clawing into the ground. And
yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I don't know if the camera gets a good reference on it, but that's like 40mm deep. I measured it. That edge of that lug is 40mm.
I've got relatively long fingers and that's like, yeah, that's a lot. Well, we've got the tyres back and the last thing to do is fit them to the car and I'm chomping at the bit. I can't wait to see what it looks like, so let's get them on. Dan, what's happened to our diff?
Oh, you like it?
I do.
I had a bit of arts and crafts time under here. I couldn't help myself.
We've gone for the evil pumpkin on the front diff.
Well, everyone says the patrol diff pumpkins get caught on everything, so I was like, well,
We've got to scare away the ruts.
First, I reconditioned the whole diff by painting it with
Oh,
black
yeah,
spray
yeah,
paint.
yeah, yeah.
It's all brand new now.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
then, yeah, I picked up some orange and went, ooh, and stenciled
sick.
that out.
I've always wanted to have a painted diff pumpkin.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Actually came up better than I thought.
Yeah, it
I reckon
looks
when
good.
it's bouncing up a track, it'll look
Yeah, it
wicked.
look awesome. Oh yeah. All right, time for tyres.
Goodbye, drivability. Do you want to do the honours, Liam?
I can do the honours.
You're younger, you can lift the tyre.
Yeah.
It already looks good.
Far out. She's looking pretty meaty there.
It looks pretty aggressive
Are we
already.
gonna munch our flares?
We'll find out.
I think we'll be right.
It's in the flare.
Oh
mostly.
mate, that's perfect clearance.
It's like, yeah.
For ultimate mud flinging. Oh, it already looks so aggressive, dude.
I know.
Far out.
The combination of that bar and that tyre hanging out
Yeah.
from under it, wow.
Yes, staunch.
Very. Now, we actually got a pretty good deal on these things. I picked these up, as I said, the day we bought the car, which was a funny coincidence, for $1,500. Now, that was a set of 6 of the tyres with 4 new rims, so 4 brand new rims in boxes. Turns out, after we took the tyres and rims to Nath, the old rims were all bent and buckled and out of shape. So it was good that we had a new set of rims to go with them. Now, they are a 35 by 11.5, and they're called an Extreme Trekker 2, but everyone just knows them as the Centipedes. Now, another thing you might have noticed with these, the ones we're putting on the rear, is that they still have the little nipples on them from when they're manufactured. These are 2 brand new, well, I shouldn't say brand new, 2 of these haven't been driven on. So one was the spare that was on his car, and the other was just a spare sitting in the guy's shed. So as I said, set of 6, but 2 were brand new. So I think we've got a pretty good deal on these.
Now we are going to be putting one of our spares on the carrier at the back. Now the car did come with a carrier. Another cool thing it's got is actually a high lift jack mount. So we went and got ourselves a high lift jack, and this is going to be super handy, especially for the stuff we're doing. This lets you lift the car high and from a lot of different points, especially if the car's like caught in a hole or something. So yeah, we'll mount this up on the back, and then yeah, we're going to be set. The key is to lift with your back.
Yep, lock the knees in, plenty of spine. Oh, look at him go. Oh, you got it, buddy. I believe in you. There you go.
Now we're also going to be making use of the jerry holder. We are going to need water for ourselves, but also it's a good spare if we need to clean stuff, which I reckon we will. So 40 litres of water in the back. So yeah, water's going to be good for us, but also for cleaning stuff on the car, I reckon.
Given the tracks we're doing during the day, we're probably going to want to wash at least, get some of the mud off or something at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have a bit of extra water.
Yeah, that's it. I reckon it's worth
When
having.
Liam goes.
We don't have to fully fill them either. If we like want to go lightweight, we can just
Yeah,
fill one.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it doesn't hurt. So.
Yeah.
Also bought a bin bag. This is just one of the old ones me and Paddy use, but I think it'll be handy for rubbish, or I reckon especially dirty recovery gear.
Yeah, that's
So
probably better.
yeah, we'll whack this on too. Yeah, mate, you should load it up, ready to go.
Big boy. Yeah.
Torque wrench,
Yes.
wheels. Always torque your wheel studs, kids. Oh man, it's actually looking like a proper track beast, you know? Like when you see like those real, like I've never been one of those real gnarly guys that has like the big lift and patrol
Nah,
just cruising.
yeah.
This looks like one of them now.
Yeah.
Very cool to have a car to do it with, you know?
Well, that's it. It's all.
Not
That's what I
having
love
to
about this.
ruin one of our own.
Yeah. We can still keep our own cars like nice and.
Yeah, well
you
yours
know,
is not, mine's...
It's what yours
yeah.
isn't nice.
Oh, it's
Jeez.
getting worse, but yeah.
Hey, his paint's like a year old. Nah, not
It's already got a big dent in the door,
Yeah,
Dan.
it's ruined. Bin it. That's probably the part I'm looking forward to. Like one of the parts I'm looking forward to the most out of this whole trip is to, like, do four-wheel driving and not be worried about, you know, a bit
The
of
consequences.
a scuff here or there, a little ding. It's like,
Yeah.
as long as we all get out safely,
Yeah, that's it.
the rest is just fun.
That's it. And that's that. You know what's actually funny now looking at it now? Imagine having more than 2 inches of lift. Like it's
it's-
just
yeah.
not necessary at all.
It's
like
only a 2-inch lift and it looks big now.
it does.
Yeah.
Like there's no need for any more.
Now, the last thing we really wanted to do was make this car look like a true competition vehicle, and the best way to do that is to cover it in a bunch of stickers.
That looks
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
How good's that?
The sizing's spot on.
Yeah. That looks really good.
Finally, we added a few finishing touches, and then we had to try and squeeze this big old patrol out of Dan's shed.
How sick does that look? Awesome.
Last step was to strap the swags on the roof, and we were ready for our big trip.
Well, here it is, the finished Build Wars GU. I reckon it looks sick. I don't know about you, Dan. Well, I reckon
I'm
we did
stoked.
a pretty killer job.
Yeah, it's come up in.
Yeah, and like just in the nick of time too.
That's it. Just got in on time and just under budget too.
I know.
We reckon we've got the budget pretty spot on. I think we've
just under 20 grand or so.
Just
maybe.
a little bit left in
But
there.
yeah,
so
we'll leave an exact number on screen so you can see how well we did. But yeah, with what I reckon we've made a hell of a car with the money we had. You know,
100%, yeah.
I mean, we started with a good base, and then we've just added all the other bits that we needed, and I can't wait to go and wheel this thing.
Yeah.
It is raining right now, and that's maybe giving us a bit of a taste of where we're heading. I don't know if that gives any hints away.
Yeah, it's been raining all day, so I think we'll just have to get used to it.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, can't wait to wheel this thing. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So make sure you guys tune in for that. I hope you enjoyed the build of this GU, and you're going to rev up for what we're doing because it's going to be crazy. But yeah, make sure to tune in to that, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Well, this is the behind the scenes cut because we wanted to see how this thing performs, and we've got a forklift and Dan's piloting it. So we'll see what happens. Still going. That's the tuck. Still going. Oh, I reckon,
that's
it
back
there.
wheels up. Get some photos, I don't have a handbrake.
How sick is that?
Considering it's pretty much just, it's a 2-inch big bore kit and a front sway bar delete, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? Like it's...
Mate, Patrols have just got it happening. That's all it is.